Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My name is Yasir Abunamous. I'm here in Allentown, Pennsylvania in the United States, where I'm completing training in family medicine to become a primary care physician, or otherwise known as a GP. And by the grace of God, alhamdulillah, we recently completed a 5-day immersion course, or a combination of 2 courses, with Hakim Salim Khan. The first course was Introduction to Health and Well-Being, combined with Life Balance and Healthy Living. And it was one of the most enriching educational experiences I've had in adulthood, alhamdulillah. And it's interesting, on the cover of the course book, it actually says that it self-describes as a transformative program. And I remarked to a couple of the other classmates and to Hakim Salim himself that I feel that I've crossed a threshold of consciousness where my awareness about certain things has changed to the degree that I can't step back. And this has changed the way I view myself. It's changed the way I view many of my daily decisions regarding my intake, what I see, what I look at, what I touch, what I say, what I think about, and definitely what I eat and drink, and how I structure my life. And to give some perspective on this, it's such a vast and beautiful tradition that in such a brief exposure of just a few days, I was able to connect the dots on so many different levels related to how I view things as a Muslim, my Islamic worldview, and also with the way that I view things as a healthcare practitioner or as someone who's being trained in medicine. So many questions that I think had remained unanswered prior to this. The Tibb tradition, the Islamic medicine tradition, which includes the legacy of our forefathers for generations, and the Tibb al-Nabawi, the prophetic medicine, it has such a comprehensive approach that it was able to do that and give me a sense of closeness to the Creator, a sense of closeness to nature and the created world, a sense of closeness to our beloved Messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I think, one of the reasons is because this tradition, vast and beautiful as it is rooted in a holism that is with a W and refers to completeness in its approach to the human being, and a holism with an H, where it sanctifies and views the human being and everything about him and his relationship with the world as sacred. And so this tradition, its paradigm really requires you to shift focus and shift attention. It has a strong emphasis on prevention, on balance, on equilibrium, on energetics. And even when it comes to treating disease, it sort of shifts the approach where it's an individualized medicine, if you will. It's more important to know, for instance, the person who has a disease than the disease that a person has. And all of this was just a blessing to soak in during the few days that, alhamdulillah, we were blessed to have Hakim Salim's instruction. And so I really walk away from this with a lot more clarity, with a lot more humility, a sense of awe at the tradition that we've inherited and unfortunately in some cases have lost, but which we're able to rediscover. And I really feel that I've come to find a hidden treasure in both the content and the person of Hakim Salim. Allah bless him and preserve him. And I really pray that we are able to commit ourselves to these principles and to these practices, and that all of us, whomever is seeing this video, whomever may have experienced Hakim Salim's instruction and the vast and beautiful tradition of Tibb, all of us are able to avail ourselves of this beautiful legacy and this ocean of knowledge and practice. And so I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I ask God to grant us the wisdom to recognize wisdom when it makes itself present and manifest to us, and that He envelops us in His mercy and His light. I leave you with this humble testimonial. I pray that you'll be able to make whatever arrangements you need to make to be able to join a course like this in the future, should it come to your area. And again, I pray that we're able to benefit from it as well, both in our lives, in our homes, in our communities, and with those of us who have patience with them as well. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.